Welcome, everyone, to Collaboration Conversations. And I am excited to be here with you this morning with my co host, Pearl Cox of POW Pearls of Wisdom. Good morning, Pearl.
Hi everyone.
And also to have our very special guest, Miss Sherry Knight of Dimensions 11. Good morning, Sherry.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
We are multinational this morning. So I am in the Houston, Texas area. Pearl is in England and Sherry is in Canada. So, and we are being joined by an individual, a young lady, beautiful young lady from Nigeria. We're having a little bit of difficulty with her stream. If we can't, if we can't keep it going, then we'll interview her another time. But I'm going to add her back in now and see if we can see and hear her. Good morning. And I really don't want to mispronounce your name. You are muted again. Let's see if, there we go. Can you introduce yourself for us so that we get your name right? And I think, again, we're having some stream issues. So, and we can't hear you. You're not muted, but we can't hear you. There's something going on with the sound. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward. Stay with us, and if perhaps we can get you to join in a bit if we get that stream, if your stream gets better. But stay with us. We'd love to have you here with us. So let's dive in. This is where we talk about collaborations, and I really do hope we can get this stream piece worked out with our beautiful guest from Nigeria, because she's doing amazing things in the world, and we want to hear about all those amazing things and how she is collaborating in the world to make a difference. But let's turn our attention to Sherry Knight this morning too, and talk about what Sherry's doing in the world. Pearl, let's let you guide that discussion if you're good with that discussion with Sherry, and then I'll pipe in whenever I have something to offer.
Okay. I really wanted us to get Sherry back into this live stream to share her knowledge with us. Anyone that's been following my profile will know that I have interviewed Sherry for the last 3 weeks. Every Thursday we've been going live onto Facebook, and we have covered different topics and services that Sherry does. I am absolutely blown away by what this lady has achieved, how she trains people, and the breakthrough she can help you to get. And this is why I wanted Sherry back onto this platform, because Sherry has so much to offer. And I know yes. I've come on leaps and bounds. I mean, just literally attending Sherry's mastermind, I pushed my company forward. My business grew by 5,000%. Just what I learned working with Sherry. And I think everyone listening should share this discussion through their networks. Please share it far and wide, because I want everyone to know just how Sherry can help them as well.
So she is phenomenal.
She is. She is. I mean, Sherry, would you just give us a brief introduction about what you do? Because it will blow people's minds. You are so on the ball with every single service that you offer, and you offer so much value for money. For the mastermind, I told people that they should be paying millions, because the difference it made in my business is definitely what I think is worth millions. So would you talk to us about the offers you have on currently, please?
Oh, I will. And thank you both so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. The whole element about most of us as human beings is we forget what our strengths are. We get bogged down in that negative element, that little wee person that's sitting on our shoulder that keeps tweaking in our ear going, you're not good enough. You can't do this. You're just not knowledgeable enough. We go through all of this, and I do too. I'm no different than anybody else. The difference is that we need to remember that we do have the strengths. We need to remember that we have knowledge, we have skills, and we need to overcome those negative thoughts. So one of the programs, and this isn't one that we talked about, Pearl, but one of the programs I have is about mindset, because that's the critical part. And when I'm working with individuals in a one-on-one situation, especially those who are leaders and who are building businesses, we talk in terms of those 7 steps that we take to get to where we want to get to with our business. And I don't care whether it's that particular program I'm dealing with, whether we're talking about oh dear, there went my head. It just disappeared. When we're talking about the mastermind programs, etc. Everything starts with mindset. And that collaboration that we talk about is getting into the mindset of the other individuals and helping them see their own worth, and then taking that step by step by step so that they can increase whatever it is that skill is. And I know so many of us, I used to be a school teacher at one time. So I get this. What do we spend our time on? On those things that we don't know how to do. Forget that. Build on the strengths that you have.
Yeah.
And then go and find somebody else to do the stuff that you don't know how to do, whatever that happens to be. For me, it's technology. I really have a problem with that. And, design work, that's not my strength. So I need to go find the other people that can handle that and do it with aplomb. Like they just sleep with it. They wake with it. They think it every moment of the day. That's the people that you need to bring into your collaboration. And then you do the things that are your strengths. So from there, we talked about the mindset aspect in terms of where it took you, Pearl. And that's typically mindset, right? That changed your whole thinking in terms of who Pearl is. So that mastermind element is so critical, because we bring other people into the collaboration then. We talked about our laser coaching, the fast action laser coaching, what a difference that makes to people's lives. And we also talked about vision boards and how important those are. So those are 3 things that we talked about, but all relate back to mindset.
Yeah. And I think
Exactly.
mindset and intention. And I think as well, you have to get your mindset right, but also set that intention before you start any form of communication, so that you know what it is that you want to get out of that communication, what it is you want to get out of your collaboration. And when you've got that intention, Sherry and I have spoken about this. If I'm posting on social media, I will sit quietly and set the intention that as I post, that my posts connect with exactly the right people that I want to connect with, that my message is heard and engaged with those people that need to see it, that need to engage with it. And so by doing that, we all grow. And you have to set that mindset before you even start, because if your mind isn't in the right area to actually build your business and to actually in a growth expectancy, your business isn't going to grow. You're not going to engage with the right people because your mindset isn't out there looking for the right people. So as Sherry says, that is one of the most important things to do.
And if I took that one step further, Pearl, one of the things that I say to people is, if you are going to a network session, networking, whether it's online or whether it's in person, we are getting back to in-person things now. If that's the case, then have that intention before you go. Set that mindset that you are going to meet 2 or 3 or 5 people, whatever number is appropriate for you, individuals that are going to be able to help you with your business, build on your business, make sure that they become clients. I don't know what the intention is, but you decide before you go. And then when you're there, you work on that particular intention, as you say, Pearl, and come away with whatever it was you intended before you went.
Definitely.
I love that. And I love that we talked about having the mindset, having the intention, but then doing the work.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
You know,
have to
it's
do the
not
work.
enough to, you have to do the work. There's that element of it as well. Let's pause for just a moment, see if we can get our second guest in yet, see if we can hear her. Hello, is it Ibegbulem? Is that how you say your name? We have met on WhatsApp, folks. We have talked on Facebook. We are working on some projects together, but this is our first time to be face to face with one another. And I honestly have not got to hear how she pronounces her name, so I apologize for that. But welcome. Can you introduce yourself for us?
No problem, ma. Thank you so much. Okay, my name is Ibegbulem Amarachi, and I enjoy the way you pronounce my name. I love it. Okay, I'm joining you from Nigeria, and I'm a student. And I'm into public speaking and YouTubing. I'm into ladies coaching here in Nigeria. It's not really been easy, but we keep doing it, and we keep going that way. I love what you are doing here. I'm so happy to be here with you today. It's really a pleasure, and I want to thank you for that.
Oops. Oh, and we lost her again, folks. We're going to have her back and dedicate a whole show to her. She's doing some amazing things in the world. Um, but she's just having a little bit of technical difficulties today. So we'll have her back another time. But yeah, so Sherry, Sherry, you and I have known each other for a few years now, and gosh, it's hard to believe it's been that many years. This year will be
Yes.
6 years.
Time flies.
It does. Um, but you have done so many wonderful things in the world and helped a lot of people, and you have such a vast knowledge in a variety of areas that I always find it a pleasure to visit with you and to learn from you. We're kind of in that learn from each other cycle, aren't we? And
Exactly.
I'd say that's true of the three of us, right? And any good collaboration, right, is that we're learning from each other.
I totally agree with that, because we are. And over the years of knowing each other, well, one of us will take the forefront for something, and then somebody else will take the forefront for something else. And that's what collaboration is all about.
Yeah,
Going back to the strengths of each other and
exactly.
using those strengths to build upon. Yes.
And
Yes.
is understanding that collaboration helps everyone, and it's not a competition. Because if you come into a collaboration feeling competitive, it will not work, because the
No.
whole energy and vibration will be wrong. Yes, we all have key skills, and they complement each other. They don't rub up against each other the wrong way, as it were. See, this is me, menopausal brain. I forget certain words, but we get there. We all know what we mean. And it's knowing that we come together with the right mindset, the right intention, and we collaborate to help each other. And in doing that, we all grow and we complement on what the other person offers. And it makes it so much easier. You can still be that single entity, you can still be your own business, and you'll see as you read across the bottom, and if you look at each and every one of our profiles, we all have our own businesses ourselves, and we all offer specific services. But when we come together, we're like a mini corporation, aren't we? Because we've got all these things, all these different specialist skills that we can then work together as a team to actually get the results. So if there was a project that people are watching and they want to work with us on, each and every one of us could come together, and as a team we could deliver what was needed.
Absolutely. And we do some of that in some of the groups that we have together. And so, but it brings back that old adage of a rising tide raises all boats, right? And that's what we're about. We're trying to help all of us, not just those of us who are collaborating, but all of the people that we can impact in the world.
Yes.
Trying to help everyone. So
yes, the world is becoming a much smaller place, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, we couldn't do this. 15, 20 years ago. I've told this story sometimes, but when my daughter was in college, She used to call home every day, and this was before cell phones, and it was before fairly free long distance, and she was in another state, a few states away. And my husband said to me one day, he said, "You need to wean this child off of calling home every day." And I said, "You know what?" I said, "I don't care if you have to mortgage the house to pay the phone bill. What mother wouldn't love to have a daily conversation with her teenage daughter, you know?"
Nice, nice.
but but the world has changed so much. We couldn't have these conversations. We wouldn't even know each other
That's right.
if it weren't for this new world that we exist in. That we're so global now, and I love it. That I like our other guest for today, Ibegbulem. You know, how in the world would we ever meet someone would I meet someone in Houston, Texas that's from Nigeria and be able to work together, be able to do something together to make a difference in the world? And that's the other part I love about. Go ahead, Pearl. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know what I'm like when I talk about law of vibration, and this is where I'm going to say, I think that if you're truly meant to meet and connect with someone, that the universe will pull us together. I mean, I had this conversation with Sherry only a few days ago, and I am certain that we have known each other previously, and yet now is the time that we're actually coming together. We've been in each other's spheres, and now we're coming together to say, yes, we are supposed to do work together. And this, I mean, if we look at it that way, it's a spiritual form of collaboration where you that vibration is so high, you bring in the people that you're meant to be working with.
Yeah.
And if I look back, Regina, you and I met, as you say, 6 years ago, but it was face to face.
And it was. Yeah.
Over time, we got to continue on, because even 6 years ago, this wasn't as easy as it is today. We talked on Facebook and that sort of thing, but now we have no problems, picking up the phone and phoning country to country, or getting online and talking to each other. It's amazing.
It is indeed. And we have a comment in the chat. Chela Diaz from the Pricing Wizard says, "Hello, ladies. I love collaboration conversations. Cheers. Welcome, Chela. We're so glad that you're here with us." I am going to attempt adding Ibegbulem one more time to the stream. Let's see if we can hear her this time. Ibegbulem, just a note that when your mic is on, we're getting a lot of background noise. So, that's the only challenge that we had. And now we're not seeing your picture, although I see your picture in the little window when I add you. But we'll hopefully get to see that beautiful face again. I'm really excited about working with Ibegbulem, and she is putting on a women's conference later this month in Nigeria. That is, she just is doing amazing things in the world. So we will figure out how to have a conversation with her, whether it's here today or another time. Awesome. So one of the things that you both talked about a little bit there that I'd like to come back and touch on, and that is, when you know what you want and you tell your brain what it is that you want, your brain's job is to go out and get that for you, right?
Yes.
And so really defining who it is that you want to work with, who you want to meet, who you want to serve, getting all of that defined so that your brain can go to work for you and help you to find those people, those opportunities, is so important.
It is. And this takes me back to, and I don't know the veracity of this, but I've used it several times and I love it, talking about that 6 degrees of separation. And the story is that there was a university class, and the prof was talking about the 6 degrees of, of separation. And he threw out the question, who would you like to talk to? And somebody threw up their hand and said, well, I'd like to talk to Nelson Mandela. And he said, okay, let's see if we can make that connection in the 6 degrees, right? And a hand went up from the back of the room, and finally the prof said, well, yeah, okay, what? And he said, well, he's my uncle. Like, it didn't take the 6 degrees, it took 1 degree. And
wow.
thing when your brain gets organized. And as Pearl said, when it goes out into the universe, wow, imagine all the things that are happening to be able to help you get where you want to get to. Makes a big difference. Yes.
Yep. Absolutely does. Hang on just one second. So, Ibegbulem, one of the issues is that we're getting a lot of noise in the background. Could you mute your mic for a moment? It won't allow me to mute it. And I think she's stuck. Let's see here. Mute. There we go. Maybe. Okay. I think we got it. Well. Okay. So we'll charge on through.
I can hear you.
Yes, now we hear you. Hello. But there's a lot of background noise at Ibegbulem. So it's really, there's a lot of conversation in the background that's coming through on your mic. So if you could silence when you're not speaking, that would be awesome. If you could mute your mic, that would be awesome. So, all right. So getting back to, I'm going to do something here. Hang on. Okay. So getting back to then, how do we maximize our opportunity to bring those people into our world, to have those collaboration conversations with that elevate all of us, that take us where we want to go and allow us to make the difference in the world that we want to make? What are some of the steps that we need to do?
Now I'm making noise.
Yeah. It's that kind of a day, folks. Bear with us.
Sorry.
You know, it's March 1st. Does that mean anything?
Well, over here in the UK, it is Shrove Tuesday, Pancake Day. Do you have Pancake Day with you?
Yes,
And
we do.
I don't believe we do. I have not heard the term before. You and I were talking about it the other day.
Well, it's a religious holiday, or not holiday, but
well, yes, it
but,
is where you eat all the good stuff, which is basically what the ingredients is that goes into pancakes, and then tomorrow is the start of Lent. Therefore, that Shrove Tuesday always is what you have first. So you eat your fill before you give up things for Lent. But I've been talking to everyone here in the UK. I cannot remember the last time Shrove Tuesday was in March. I've always seen it being in February, but of course because Lent finishes with Easter, depending on when the dates for Easter are, we count back those amount of days, and that's when Shrove Tuesday.
Right.
So it's amazing what we learn, and different festivals and things that people follow depending on where we live. Mm-hmm. And it's surprising.
Right.
You might be doing similar things, but you have different names for it. And when someone shares a name, you look at each other and think, never heard of that. And yet when you talk about what the festival is about, we all think, oh yes, we do that, but we call it something different. And this is where it's so good when we come together to actually have these discussions, because it helps each other. And as you were saying, Regina, about that whole collaboration and coming together, it's having that different viewpoint from different countries. And with each time we come together, we bring our networks together, and that means we can then grow. And our message, as we're speaking today, and it's being live streamed onto LinkedIn, because this is why people keep seeing me turning my head like this, because I'm monitoring and we are live on Regina's profile. See, so we are live streaming on a global basis, because as we know, there's over 638 million people there on LinkedIn, and they have a global presence, and we are live streaming because technically anyone that wants to jump onto that, they will see this. They might not necessarily be watching now, but as we know, we've already had a comment from today's interview, but we always share this through our own networks, so this message will go far and wide just through the three of us, and then it will grow and other people will see it, and it's available to that global international audience. And imagine the collaborations that come from that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Which is why we do this.
Well, and both of you have such strengths and such skills in terms of this kind of technology. It's quite amazing. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. But this is me. You know me, ladies. If there's something that I have to do, especially if there's something that I want to almost be the best at, yes, I will do it. And quite often with my communications technology side, it is a male-dominated sphere. And yet I can go into a boardroom and I can butt heads with IT, technology, digital teams, and I can hold my own. And that really, that is something that it takes an awful lot of courage and confidence to do. And that's something I think that's what collaboration gives each and every one of us that confidence to see, yes, you might think that, yes, you have a hobby or something, or one of your key skills that you really like. But as you come together in collaboration, and as Regina said, we all rise together, and your specialist skill is so strong, you actually shine a light. You are that beacon for your specialist skill. And both these ladies, both Regina and Sherry, when I speak to them and when you see them in their different spheres, they are that beacon of light in what they do. Like I do urge everyone to watch and rewatch the videos and the interviews that I've done separately over the last 3 weeks with Sherry, because the knowledge she shares, it is off the charts. And I know I started by saying that, but it is. And I've interviewed Regina many a time, and we've interviewed each other on our podcast channels. And those pearls of wisdom, those golden nuggets that come through, you have such a wealth of knowledge of us all sat here together. So even if you're watching this as a replay, please, if there's a question you'd like to know more about, please put it in the comments so we can reach out and answer it for you.
Absolutely. We we're here to serve. We're here to move people forward in their quests, particularly in their business quests, in what they want to do in business. But everything that we do is to make a difference in the world, right? And as you've all, if anybody who's heard me before, you know that I'm all about the ripple effect. That as I help you be more successful, then you go out and help more people. And so I get to be part of the ripple that you create. And that's what keeps me going, keeps me excited.
And you do it amazingly well. Both of you do. And I think one of the things that we all have to remember is that if you need support in something, you have to ask. We can't assume that everybody else recognizes where we need the help. And I've, discovered that just myself in being married. I sometimes go, oh, like, why doesn't he see that this needs to be done, or that I need this help? And finally, I got it through my head, like, all I had to do was ask. And he's glad to help, but it's not things that he sees or he thinks about. Yeah. And it's the same just in life. We ask, and so we shall receive.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Well, ladies, as always, it's a pleasure to visit with you and to explore ways that we can serve one another. Final thoughts, Pearl, your final thoughts today on collaboration conversations, how we move forward with those.
I'd say find as many different ways as possible to have that collaboration so you can have those conversations. Some people might call it masterminding as well, where people come together and you help as a group, that you become a single battery that you help everyone else to rise in it. So it is, even just for the rest of the week, give some thought. Where in your life could you collaborate? Where would you like to collaborate? Come back to us, put it in the comments, because it's something we could grow with. And also reach out to these other wonderful ladies and make sure they are part of your lives. If you're not following them already, make sure you are following them now.
And you know, just a quick comment. We will have men on the show as well, folks. We are all attracted to helping women in the world as well, but that does not mean that we exclude helping men. So just a thought there. And Sherry, before I ask you for your final thought, Chella added, "Amen to asking, an area that I'm working on." So definitely value in that. Yes.
Excellent.
So your final thoughts on collaboration conversation, Sherry?
My final thoughts are: get your mindset in gear. Think about what it is that you need. Think about the kind of people that would help you with that, and then put it out to the universe and ask.
Excellent. I love it. Absolutely love it. Folks, it's been a joy to have you here again today, to be able to bring this to you. Again, as Pearl said, let us know what you would like to have us touch on. If there are special guests you'd like to have us on to interview, if you would like to be a special guest to be interviewed, we would love to hear from you and to know what's of value to you, so that this truly brings value to folks. So, with that, we're also going to thank Ibegbulem. And so sorry it didn't work out to be able to hear you. And we are going to work on figuring out the technology, because you have so much value to bring to the world and we want to help you bring it. And so I will be reaching out to you further, Ibegbulem. I know you're there. I'll be reaching out to you further, and we will figure out how we can do a session where we can hear you and share in your wisdom and what you're bringing to the world. Thank you all. Have an amazing day. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.